Parenting has always been a sacred challenge, but today, it feels heavier. Not because we love our children less, but because the world around us has changed. Faster, louder, more demanding, more disconnected. We're raising children in a time of emotional overload and constant comparison while trying to stay gentle, present, and wise. So if you've ever whispered, "Why does this feel so hard?" you're not alone. Let's explore why modern parenting asks so much of us and how we can meet it with grace. 1. The rise of intensive parenting. What it means. Intensive parenting is the modern expectation that parents, especially mothers, must be everything to their child, emotionally attuned, academically involved, physically present, psychologically informed, socially responsible, and constantly improving. It's no longer enough to love your child. You must optimize them. No longer enough to raise them. You must curate their experiences, emotions, and outcomes. Why it feels so heavy. The pressure to perform. Every parenting choice, from screen time to snacks, is now a reflection of your identity, values, and success. Mistakes feel public. Imperfection feels shameful. The myth of control. Intensive parenting creates the illusion that if you do everything right, your child will turn out perfectly. This leads to anxiety, guilt, and over-monitoring, especially when children struggle emotionally or academically. The emotional labor is invisible. Planning meals, managing meltdowns, regulating your own nervous system, researching developmental stages, none of this is seen. Yet it consumes time, energy, and emotional bandwidth. It's gendered and unequal. Mothers are often expected to carry the emotional and logistical load, while fathers may be praised for minimal involvement. This imbalance leads to burnout, resentment, and identity loss. The impact on parents and children. Parents feel exhausted, anxious, and isolated. They're trying to meet impossible standards while suppressing their own needs. Children may feel overmanaged and undertrusted. They're given curated lives, but not always emotional autonomy. The relationship becomes performance-based. Instead of connection, there's correction. Instead of presence, there's pressure. Intensive parenting asks you to be perfect. But children don't need perfect parents. They need present ones. Ones who say, "I see you. I love you. I'm learning to." 2. Technology overload. What it means. Modern families are surrounded by screens, notifications, algorithms, and digital demands. From toddlers watching YouTube to teens navigating TikTok, technology isn't just a tool. It's a landscape. And parents are expected to manage it all. Screen time limits, online safety, digital etiquette, emotional fallout from social media, and their own tech habits too. Why it feels so heavy. Constant vigilance. Parents must monitor content, privacy, and emotional impact, often without clear guidelines or support. It's like trying to build a fence around a moving river. Comparison culture. Social media floods parents with curated images of perfect families, meals, routines, and children. This breeds shame, insecurity, and the feeling of never doing enough. Disrupted connection. Tech can interrupt eye contact, play, and emotional attunement. Children may feel unseen even when parents are physically present. Digital addiction and dysregulation. Fast-paced apps and dopamine loops can dysregulate children's nervous systems, especially neurodivergent ones. Parents must navigate meltdowns, withdrawal, and overstimulation. Parents are overwhelmed too. Many adults use tech to cope with stress, escape, or stay productive. But guilt often follows, creating a cycle of emotional depletion. The impact on families. Children may struggle with attention, sleep, and emotional regulation. Parents may feel disconnected, distracted, and ashamed. Family time becomes fragmented. Emotional presence becomes harder to sustain. Technology isn't the enemy, but without boundaries, it becomes a barrier. Children don't need perfect tech rules. They need present parents who say, "I see you. Let's find balance together." 3. Public scrutiny and pressure to perform. What it means: parenting used to be private. Now it's public, performative, and often judged. From Instagram reels to parenting blogs, every choice, what you feed your child, how you discipline, how you decorate their room, is open to commentary. Even silence can be interpreted. Even softness can be criticized. Why it matters: this constant visibility creates a sense of surveillance. Parents feel they must curate their lives, not just live them. They must explain their choices, defend their instincts, and prove their love, often to strangers. Why it feels so heavy. The myth of the perfect parent. Social media amplifies idealized images of parenting: calm mothers, tidy homes, emotionally articulate toddlers. Real life rarely looks like this, but comparison makes parents feel inadequate. Cultural contradictions. Parents are told to be gentle but also firm, present but also productive, emotionally available but not too soft. These mixed messages create confusion and guilt. Fear of judgment. Parents may hesitate to share struggles, ask for help, or admit mistakes, fearing backlash or shame. This leads to isolation and emotional suppression. Children are affected too. When their lives are documented or idealized online, children may feel pressure to perform, behave, or be content. Their emotional privacy is often compromised. The impact on families. Parents feel anxious, performative, and disconnected from their own instincts. Children may feel watched, shaped, or misunderstood. Authenticity becomes harder to access. Healing conversations are replaced by curated moments. Parenting isn't a performance, it's a relationship, and relationships thrive in truth, not perfection. When we release the need to impress, we reclaim the power to connect. 4. The logistics of modern life. What it means. Today's parents aren't just raising children. They're managing calendars, apps, passwords, school portals, medical forms, travel plans, and emotional regulation, all at once. Even simple joys, like a trip to the park or a family dinner, can feel like logistical puzzles. Why it matters. The mental load of parenting has exploded. It's not just physical tasks, it's the invisible planning, remembering, anticipating, and coordinating that never stops. And most of it falls on one parent, often the mother. Why it feels so heavy. Everything requires planning, booking a play date. You need calendars, texts, snacks, and transportation. Going to Disneyland, you need reservations, apps, QR codes, and backup plans. The mental load is constant. Parents are tracking school deadlines, emotional needs, grocery lists, and sibling dynamics, all while trying to stay calm and present. No room for spontaneity. The pace of modern life leaves little space for slow mornings, unstructured play, or quiet connection. Burnout is normalized. Parents are praised for doing it all, but rarely supported in doing less. The impact on families. Parents feel overwhelmed, distracted, and emotionally depleted. Children may feel rushed, overscheduled, and disconnected. Family time becomes task-oriented, not heart-oriented. Presence becomes a luxury, not a baseline. Children don't need perfect plans. They need present parents. When we slow down, simplify, and soften the pace, we make space for connection to bloom. 5. Economic and emotional instability. What it means. Modern parents are raising children in a time of rising costs, global uncertainty, and emotional overstimulation. They're expected to provide stability, presence, and joy while navigating financial pressure, mental health challenges, and a world that rarely slows down. Why it matters. Children thrive in emotionally regulated environments. But when parents are constantly worried about money, safety, or the future, it becomes harder to offer calm, attuned care. And many parents feel they must hide their stress to protect their children, which only deepens the emotional divide. Why it feels so heavy. Financial pressure is relentless. From childcare to groceries to housing, the cost of raising a child has soared. Parents may feel guilt, fear, or shame around money, especially when trying to provide enrichment or keep up with peers. Mental health struggles are rising. Anxiety, burnout, and emotional fatigue are common among parents, especially those without support systems. Yet many feel they must hold it together for their children. The world feels unstable. News cycles, climate concerns, and social unrest create background stress that's hard to escape. Children absorb this, even when it's not spoken aloud. Emotional bandwidth is shrinking. When parents are in survival mode, it's harder to be patient, playful, or present, and this can lead to guilt, shame, and disconnection. The impact on families. Parents may feel emotionally unavailable even when physically present. Children may sense tension but not understand it, leading to anxiety or acting out. Family connection becomes fragile. Joy becomes something to chase, not something to rest in. Children don't need perfect circumstances. They need emotionally available parents, and parents need support, compassion, and space to breathe. Because healing isn't just personal, it's generational. 6. Loss of community and the myth of the self-sufficient parent. What it means. Parenting was never meant to be a solo act. Historically, families were supported by extended kin, neighbors, and communal rhythms. But today, many parents are expected to do it all, alone. They're told to be strong, independent, and self-sufficient, even when they're emotionally drowning. Why it matters. Children thrive in connected ecosystems, and parents thrive when they're held, heard, and helped. But modern life often isolates families, physically, emotionally, and socially. Why it feels so heavy. No village support. Many parents live far from family, lack childcare, or feel disconnected from neighbors. This creates emotional and logistical strain. Cultural glorification of independence. Asking for help is often seen as weakness. Parents may feel shame for needing rest, support, or emotional care. Online connection isn't enough. Digital communities can offer advice, but not hugs, meals, or presents. The body still longs for real companionship. Neurodivergent and sensitive families feel this even more. Their needs may be misunderstood, judged, or dismissed, leading to deeper isolation. The impact on families. Parents feel lonely, overwhelmed, and emotionally unsupported. Children may absorb this stress, sensing tension they can't name. The home becomes a pressure chamber, not a sanctuary. Healing becomes harder without relational scaffolding. You were never meant to do this alone. Parenting is not a test of endurance, it's a call for connection. And when we rebuild the village, we restore the heart of the family. Modern parenting isn't harder because we're failing. It's harder because we're feeling. We're parenting with more emotional awareness, more intention, and more heart than ever before. And that takes courage. So if you're tired, tender, or tangled in the weight of it all, pause, breathe. You are not alone. You are part of a quiet revolution of parents choosing connection over control, presence over perfection, and love over legacy. And that love? It's enough. It's always been enough. If this message resonated with you, follow Seeds of Tomorrow and subscribe for more gentle, soul-rooted parenting wisdom. Let's raise a generation that feels safe, seen, and deeply loved. See you in the next video.